how's everybody doing today? I know I've got so many that I've already repotted, regrown. But now I'm on my second ones, and what I want to do is show how you can possibly plant your plants nice and loose. But this is the point where you've got plants that are actually growing 3, 4, 5 second leaves. And I do apologize by not having somebody take pictures of this. It's just me by myself. What you really want to do is cut them down, get them in the ground, so then when they are cut, the roots are going to grow from the bottom down. So take those first leaves that you got and get rid of them. Take them off. You can either cut or pull. Myself, I'd much rather cut. Get them down in the ground. All that space, all that what you have there is going to turn into roots. And again, you've all heard me over and over and over again. What you're doing is growing roots. This time of the year, you don't care about how many leaves you have, how many flowers you have. I can show you off to the side, like plant after plant after plant. All you're doing, and again, as Praxis says, you're just pushing as hard as you can on your eyelid. Thought that was a little strange until I tried it, and I gotta admit, it's a perfect system. So all you're doing is growing your roots right now. Once these all start to come out, take those bottom leaves off. If anything does, I'm not saying mine does, but I'm just saying if yours does. If yours do have a lot of, I don't know, legginess, I guess, you don't need to worry about that, because this is the stage. After this stage, you might have some troubles, but this is the stage you can plant deep. And anything you do have of legginess is going to start to show out roots on the side. So snip off those little leaves that came up at the first. Forget about the true leaves. Those have to stay. We'll trim them down next time. And if you haven't seen that, you can see a lot of my videos on how we trim these. But what we're doing is keep them going and keep them growing. Now there's one plant here that I really wanted to show. I'm going to have to move this in. The reason why all my videos kind of, I hate to say words suck, but the reason why I don't bring them in is because the second I hit pause, the video recording I'm doing, it doesn't work. So I'm going to bring this right in, and we'll see if we can see what's happening here. I do apologize for the wait here. So there's certain of these plants that what we want to do is take the plant, get rid of all the bottom leaves. There's a nice root balm there. What we want to do is snip all these bottom leaves off. Of course, these are my ghost peppers. Put them off to the side because they will go in again to our compost. But what we want to do is try to fill it up as high as we possibly can. You don't want to push it down too far. You don't want to push it like the actual weight of the soil. Let it sit. Let the soil do itself. And you don't have to force it. You don't have to do anything about it. Just let it go. It will do its own thing. And the roots will start to sit out the side. Move that over. That's the one we did before. Do that. That. The reason why we're not forcing it is because we want the roots to do what they let them be loose, let them be free. People walking by wondering why my house is all lit up like this. That's okay. Again, when we take them out, our plants, pinch and drop. Any leaf you're not happy with, snip it off. The leaf itself is going to put out side branches. The roots themselves are going to put out side branches. So all these plants right here, they're going to go into my grow room. The ones that are in my grow room are about to go up on the shelf. It's a rotation. Right now, it's April 2nd. So we have loads of time to try to decide what we're going to do with different things. This one is different. I've got two in the save. So this one I will flip. I'll let everything else drop. But I will slowly let them fall apart. I will never rip two plants apart. Let them drop. Let them fall. Pick up and drop, drop, drop. There's still a lot of space I can do. So the original leaves, snip, snip. And give them some dirt to hold them up, both sides. And these are going to just sit in the growing room for a good week, 2 weeks, and we'll see how they stand. The reseeding is actually one of the most important stages of when you're growing your peppers. Because if you just stick, yeah, it's great. It's not going to hurt anything. But what will happen is when you start to go to your next stage and you don't have the growth rate, you don't have your roots. Again, I don't know how many times I got to say, all we're doing is growing roots. Roots, 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 roots. This whole top part, I've seen so many people be so proud, like, I've got this, I got this, I got this. If you don't have your roots, don't even bother about what you're doing with these. These are irrelevant. All you need your greenery for basically is to prove that your roots are growing. And these are all, again, I got another double here. These are all ghost peppers that I've got going here. But there's so many other plants I'm going to show you in a second. There is one plant that I'm very, very, I won't say proud of because I only got 1 out of 10 seeds. But I have one this year's of the Pepper Joe Ghosts. I got one plant. One plant out of 10 seeds. Now all the seeds that I took from myself, I had about a 70, 80, some of them 90% growth rate. But Pepper Joe's this year, I have to say, and honestly, Pepper Joe, I'm not putting you down, I'm just saying, I gotta tell you, this was the worst germination I have ever seen of any seller of any time. So I thought, oh, don't worry about it, everybody's putting out Pepper Joe. I thought, hey, he's my buddy, he's the guy that I've been dealing with. Well, I've been dealing with a few people, but honestly, Pepper Joe is the guy that I will never, and you will never hear me put a word against. So, I had a very, 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 sorry, trimming here, very low germination rate. No, it's all good. They'll come later, they'll come later. Well, they never did. And anybody else would have been like, oh man, I got nothing, nothing happened. But it doesn't matter, because out of every plant you see me growing here, how many plants, like how many pods are you going to get? How many seeds are you going to get? How many? So, when I go back into my greenhouse here, and I grab the one Pepper Joe pod, roots are deep. You'll notice if you watch my first video, I really did reseed about 2 months ago. So these guys have been waylaid. The reason why I didn't do a seeding video the first time around was because it was a very wintry, blistery day and my dog was barking like crazy. And I thought, you know what, I can't. I'll just do what I need to do and then I will do like a little picture. But what I'm going to do right here is I'm going to grab Pepper Joe's video. It's not really Pepper Joe's video. I'm going to grab Pepper Joe's plant. It's my one that I got out of 15 seeds. I got one to go. So what happens is running off to the side here. Okay, Ghost Joe. And I really would have liked it to get much bigger before I replanted, but it's getting to the point now. It's April 2nd. It's got to get in my grow room. I don't like to put little seedlings in my grow room because what happens is, oh my God, the root system on this thing. See? That's why you cannot judge what is happening. Here is this tiny little plant, and I'm going on about, oh, it's not happening, it's not. It's got a root system bigger than any other plant that I've actually had going at this time. That is why you can never judge, I hate that saying, never judge a plant by its cover, but this little thing right here had a root system bigger than than this. So what will happen is once everything goes outside and everything is happy, as everybody's planted, this little guy right here, hopefully, is going to take off. And that's my one Joe. So I have to label that because everything else is ghost, ghost, ghost. Get these out of the way. Let's get going here. So what I want to do is just show what happens in a grow room. In a grow room you get short, very, very green, that's a butch tea. All your plants are going to end up being very healthy because, again, all you're doing is growing roots. The rest of the time, you're just growing the leaves. And there's nothing wrong with growing leaves. There's no harm done there. But what you have to do is make sure this little guy, I don't know what I'm going to do with him. I planted a tiny, tiny, tiny pumpkin seed, and it is going too deep, too fast. So if anybody out there knows what I should do with this, because I've got about a month before it goes outside. I don't want to steal one of my other sticks. But that will go back into my greenhouse. Wish I could go in close on what I did the last time I did one of my chop jobs on my ghosts. It was only about a week ago, and if you could get in close, you'll see everything everywhere that's cut, it's just bushing out again. Every single spot has about 12, I don't know if I can see that, all that. So again, all we're doing, so everywhere you snip, 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 you're going to get about a 12, 14 little bush coming out of there. And that's all you want, because this time of the year, as long as my roots are happy, everything else is irrelevant. Take this off too. I got so many of these little ghost peppers. And just snip them off. Snip. As long as you give yourself about 3 weeks to grow before they go outside, you're going to have bush after bush after bush after bush. So again, I'm sorry about the lighting here. I'm sorry about everything. But lately I've just been working days. I come home at night and I'm trying to do these. But what I do want to really emphasize is the fact, the more you prune back your plant, and not before they're quiet. I'm not going to sit here and prune something like this back. People are like, oh, if I take one off and one off. No. Let them grow, then prune. Then all of a sudden I have a foot, such a short plant, and it's just got growth on every single angle. Get this out of the way, because those ones are going into the grow room. And again, here's a bunch of my ghost peppers. I've got some Carolina Reapers, Butch Teas, Naga Viper. What's this one? Oh, a Reaper. So what I'm going to do after this is I'm going to put these into my grow room, and then I'm just going to do a couple pictures and whatnot, because honestly, you cannot, with the video recorder I do, I can't just sit there and keep talking and saving and going. So I'll just show you a little picture of my grow room, and hopefully you enjoy it. Thank you very much, and have a great day. This is how you seed. This is how you replant. Cut your leaves low, plant deep. Everything is great. Have a good night.